Hello everyone, my name is Bob Graf. I am a recent graduate currently working in the field of computer science. Now, as you probably know, this means I like to, in essence, take control of both computers and other technologies. Now, before we begin today's hour of code, I wanted to very briefly share with you some of the projects that I have worked on in the past where I was able to do just that. Now, one of these projects, I was put in charge to help build a 5-foot tall rocket, and another, I created a small video game from scratch. Now, when it came to building the rocket, the part I played a part in was making sure that the rocket would become aware of its surroundings and would take 4 pictures once it reached a certain height or altitude, and once again take 4 more pictures when it landed on the ground. Now, once the pictures were taken, we as a group wanted to make sure that the photos would be put together to create almost a 360 panorama of the rocket's surroundings. Now, to do so, I worked to implement my code and put them on a board called an Arduino Uno, much like this one that I have right here. Now, when the rocket launched, this board would run my code and make sure it was doing what it needed to do and when it needed to do it. Now, outside of physical technology, I also created my own small video game from scratch that can be played with either a mouse and keyboard or even a controller. Today, we, on the other hand, are going to be talking and walking through the concept of artificial intelligence, otherwise known as AI. Artificial intelligence, in simple terms, is intelligence displayed by machines, much like humans, but more specified towards one objective or task. To go a little more in depth on what AI is, we can say it is a program that is built to learn or do a specific task very well, much better than we as humans ever could. Take a Google search, for example. We can type in what we want to search, say images of a dog, and when we hit enter, Google goes out and finds a bunch of pictures that it perceives as a dog. Now, if we search then for, say, a black lab, we would get a smaller selection of dogs that we would see. Now, instead of programming what exactly the application should do or return, such as returning a black lab, we as programmers have to teach the application in a different manner. Lots of this teaching is done visually, where the computer and or program is fed information, whether it be images or lists of data. We then have to tell the computer what that information means in relation to its designed task, whether it is a dog or if it's specifically a black lab. AI can be used for really simple things that make our lives easier or more enjoyable, such as YouTube, TikTok, or Twitch. However, it can also be used for really important problems as well, such as diagnosing certain health issues, or maybe something like Google Translate to help us communicate with someone who may not speak the same language as we do. So, to show you an example of this, earlier I wrote a simple 2-worded phrase in Spanish on the sticky note that you can probably guess will read artificial intelligence. Now, you can actually download Google Translate on your phone and then take a picture of the item you wish to translate, and it will actually look at the image and show you exactly the translation that you need. Pretty cool. So, in a way, us as programmers have found ways to create a human mind on a computer to perform a task, except that person performs much faster than you and I. So now we'll send you guys off to the first part of your hour of code, and you'll be using AI for Oceans. We'll see you when you get back.